The serum that promises to turn people into perfect beings is about to go public. It doesn't matter that testing is still incomplete. It doesn't matter that its safety isn't guaranteed. The decision has already been made, and everything suggests that things are about to spiral completely out of control. It all begins with a memory from days earlier. Cooper and Jordan stroll calmly through the streets of Italy. It's night. The atmosphere is easy, unhurried, as if the city itself has paused just for them. There's no rush, no tension. Just two friends sharing a moment that, without realizing it, already feels special. During their walk, they come across a fountain. Jordan, smiling sincerely, suggests tossing in a coin and making a wish, as if that small ritual could freeze the moment forever. Cooper goes first. He closes his eyes and asks for something that says more than it seems that neither of them ever falls in love. They both want to keep what they have. That ambiguous relationship, comfortable, safe, undefined. But deep down the feelings are already there, even if neither of them dares to say it out loud. With an almost melancholic tone, Cooper talks about all the things that would disappear if they crossed the line from friendship, the chivalrous gestures, the closeness, the brief touches, the kisses that travel across their skin. Jordan listens in silence. She looks at him with affection, with that mix of tenderness and denial that only appears when two people care deeply for each other but aren't ready to face it. They don't want a relationship, but they truly care about one another. The memory fades, and we return to the present. Now Cooper is sitting in an interrogation room. The man across from him is named Ashley. He was at the site of Harper's explosion, the young woman we saw in the previous episode. Ashley confirms that he was there, though he insists he was far enough away to avoid infection. Still, something far more unsettling comes to light. He didn't just know Harper, he knew her entire close circle, but Harper had something that set her apart. Her beauty. A perfect kind of beauty, the kind that feels unreal, almost unreachable. Ashley admits they spent a lot of time together because when she arrived in the city, she didn't know anyone. That led to several outings as friends, until he realized he had fallen in love with her. Ashley has no idea what caused the explosion. For a moment, he even thought it might have been a terrorist attack. He also mentions something disturbing. Authorities took a blood sample from him without explaining anything. No reason, no purpose. Although they were never in a formal relationship, Ashley admits they were intimate on several occasions. The way he describes Harper is intense, uncomfortably so. Cooper cuts straight to what matters most: condom use. As expected, there was none. Immediately, Cooper alerts Agent Monroe. There's a high probability of infection through bodily fluids, the primary method of transmission. Seconds later, Ashley is informed that he's being placed in quarantine for medical evaluation. Confused, terrified, and unable to understand what's happening, he tries to run. He doesn't get far. He's sedated on the spot. Later, Cooper suits up in full biohazard gear. He sets ready to enter the infected zone. Inside one of the isolation pods is Manny, another of Harper's friends. He was also present during the explosion. His infection happened in the cruelest, most absurd way imaginable. A single drop of blood landed directly in his eye. Now Manny is showing the classic symptoms of the infection: extreme fever, constant sweating, and unbearable internal heat. No one has explained what's happening to him, and that lack of information pushes him straight into panic. Doctors try to bring his temperature down with medication, but nothing works. The heat isn't coming from the outside, it's coming from something awakening inside him. Minutes pass, and Manny's body begins to change. The restraint snaps, the fury breaks free. Manny escapes and attacks everyone in the room, including Cooper. The agent can't do anything to stop him. Manny runs blindly, completely out of control, and Cooper immediately understands the danger. If he makes it out of the facility, the infection could spread even further. Without hesitating, Cooper triggers the facility-wide alert. All exits are sealed. Manny cannot be allowed to escape. As he flees, the transformation accelerates. Manny's body starts to fail. His skin cracks, peels away in fragments, as if it can no longer contain what's forcing its way out from within. His anatomy shifts violently and unnaturally, bones, muscles, and tissue rearranging in real time. This is no longer just an infection, it's a mutation. What makes it even more disturbing is where all of this is happening. This is not an ordinary laboratory. Within these same walls, experimental procedures dedicated to physical perfection are being carried out. Clandestine operations where the human body is treated like a product, something that can be corrected, replaced, or upgraded, as long as someone is willing to pay the price. Cooper catches a glimpse of one of these rooms in operation. A woman lies unconscious on a surgical table. Her face has been completely removed. There's no way to save it, no possibility of repair. It's a blank, deformed canvas with no identity left. The surgeons don't hesitate. They place a new face, new skin, a new chance at life. This isn't just surgery, it's the reconstruction of identity. The scene is violently interrupted. Manny bursts into the operating room like a cornered animal and escapes through a restricted access point. Cooper follows him, unaware that he's about to uncover something even more disturbing. As he passes through one of the doors, he steps into a room he will never forget. The space is filled with capsules. Inside them, perfectly preserved human bodies. Their sole purpose is to serve as skin donors. People once deemed beautiful, perfect, now continuing to serve the world even after death. They left too soon, and now their beauty is sold piece by piece. During the pursuit, Cooper finds something that makes his blood run cold. The remains of the cocoon. That organic shell, so characteristic of the infected, confirms that Manny has reached a critical stage. Disoriented, confused, driven purely by instinct, Manny attacks Cooper without recognizing him. He doesn't understand what's happening. He feels only fear and rage. As Manny is about to reach the final door, the security team arrives just in time and blocks his escape. Trapped, Manny lunges again. Cooper has no choice. He injects a sedative directly, trying to stop him before he's killed. But it doesn't set work. Manny collapses, then rises again. This time, Cooper brings him down with a taser. The body finally gives in, and Manny falls unconscious, the threat contained for now. Elsewhere, specifically in Rome, the story takes a different turn. Assassin takes Jeremy shopping. The goal is clear, a complete image overhaul. Leave behind the life of a loser. Erase the insecure man he used to be. Now, with the body he has, he needs to learn how to use it to its full potential. Jeremy goes through outfit after outfit, fittings, combinations. He walks in front of the mirror as if he still can't believe that body belongs to him. Assassin watches, studies him, until he finally finds the exact point where everything clicks. That's when he smiles. That's the Jeremy he needs. Later, like any man, Jeremy has physical needs. Assassin handles it. He hires an escort, so Jeremy can release some tension, but he lays down strict rules from the start. No kissing, no contact involving bodily fluids. Everything must stay controlled. When the encounter ends, Assassin pays the escort, thanks her, and tells her he'll contact her again if necessary. She refuses. Jeremy has way too big of a weapon, she says, and she swears she'll be sore for an entire week. Just then, Assassin receives a call. They're needed immediately at the disease control center. He needs his monthly dose to keep himself young. Elsewhere in the city, Byron, the creator of the beauty serum, heads to the pharmaceutical headquarters to receive his own monthly injection, the ritual that allows him to stay young despite his advanced age. Within seconds, his body responds, skin tightens, muscles lift, and his sexual energy becomes seemingly limitless, enough to have sex up to 5 times a day. For Byron, the serum isn't just science, it's power. His optimism is almost insulting when compared to the chaos in the streets. People exploding, bodies deforming, collective panic. None of it disturbs him. His focus is elsewhere. The first major advertising campaign is about to launch, right on World Beauty Day. Perfect timing. Models detonating in public spaces wasn't part of the plan, but now that the whole world is watching, Byron decides to take advantage of the exposure. If there's one thing he's learned, it's that there's no such thing as bad publicity, especially when you're selling perfection. Byron knows exactly what they're up against. They created a technology too powerful, and it was inevitable that someone would try to steal a prototype, copy the formula, and sell it on the black market. That's exactly what happened, and that defective version is what's causing people to explode in the streets. Fortunately, from his point of view, the original formula has already been perfected. The flaws, like the fluid-based infection that caused bodies to literally rebirth, have been corrected. Ray, the scientist who spent years refining the serum, assures him that with the new version, that will never happen again. Byron receives his monthly injection, but this time something isn't quite right. His body seems to reject the new formula. Far from worried, true to his arrogance, he simply orders them to double the dose if necessary. For him, giving up has never been an option. Before leaving, he makes his position crystal clear to the entire team. The testing phase and safety protocols are over. The product will launch no matter what on World Beauty Day. All the advertising is already paid for, and he has no intention of losing a single cent. Ray disagrees. He warns that side effects could still exist, possibly as severe as what's already happening in the streets, but his objections fall on deaf ears. In truth, Byron couldn't care less about the disaster. In fact, he has an even more twisted idea. He knows people will pay anything for an injection, that they'll need it the same way a diabetic needs insulin. So he gives the order, lower the dosage. What used to be monthly will now be weekly. More dependence, more money, more control for the corporation. Meanwhile, night falls, and Cooper continues searching for Jordan. He tries calling her to make sure she's okay, but there's no answer. Worried, he heads to the home of an elderly woman who had been taking care of her cat. There, he receives more bad news. The animal died. It spent too long outside the house, and no one was able to notify him. That night, Cooper has a disturbing dream. He sees himself training with FBI agents at dawn. Suddenly, he stops when he notices a woman standing silently, staring at the landscape. He knows, without needing to see her face, that it's Jordan. But when she turns around, her face is grotesque, twisted, unrecognizable. Cooper wakes up in a panic. It was just a nightmare, or so he thinks. There's a knock at the door. When he opens it, he's met by a perfect woman, beautiful, almost unreal. Cooper doesn't recognize her. He doesn't see his friend until she speaks. She tells him she accepts Jordan. In that instant, Cooper understands the truth. His friend has been infected, and with that revelation, the episode comes to an end.